All right, welcome into an episode between two Conors. Did you know that's what this was?
No, I didn't.
With Jared Timmer.
Yeah, we handled the contract situation, so we're back now. There were some negotiations between me and Conor.
Good.
Whose name went first was the main one, I think. But,
The spelling.
Yeah.
The spelling. There were some issues. We got our people involved.
Your people called my people.
Yeah, your people.
Took a couple
exactly.
business days, but we're here now.
It's the first one of the year.
Yeah.
Which is good. It's good to see you both. Jared, congrats on being a new dad.
Yeah, thank you.
How's that been, man? That's got to be awesome.
Yeah, it's been an amazing experience. There's so much love for just a little tiny thing. But wife was a champ, and it's been amazing.
Didn't miss a game though, right? It was on a.
Yeah, baby was born Wednesday,
yeah.
And then we played Sunday in Oakland, so it all worked out.
Perfect road trip for.
Yeah, it was
baby.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, down and back. Still was like torn that I was leaving, but
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. But you got the assist that game. Then you got team of the week. Then you this last week get team of the week. So I mean, it's been a hell of a run for you.
I don't know who we got to talk to about getting them on the actual starting 11 for team of the week, though. 2 assists.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, dad power though, huh?
Oh, I guess. All right, so back-to-back wins for you guys. But the stretch going into the Oakland game, it seemed like the team was kind of in a not a dry spell necessarily, but just struggling a little bit. What was the regroup like for you guys at training going forward, going into that Oakland game and beyond to where you guys got to? Yeah, you can answer first, Jerry.
Yeah, we'll let you have it first.
I thought it was between two Conors, but
Well, that's because
he's
he's supposed to ask questions too, but he doesn't have.
No, I usually just chime in.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. No, I think there was a lot of emphasis on just how to improve our attacking play. Mark was just encouraging and drawing up like new patterns of plays to get us into good spots to find the back of the net. And then, I mean, there was a lot of times we got into good spots, and then just that final pass or final shot just was missing. And we know we have guys that can do that, so it was just continually getting them reps and getting them opportunities. And we knew that the ball was going to go in the back of the net soon, and 5 in Oakland was a good way to. Yeah. I felt like we had the first one with Kieran, and once we saw that, it was like, all right, gates are open.
Yeah, it's something we've been talking about a lot more, like going off like how we started games so fast last year, and I think the way we're set up as a team, if we can score early on teams, there's not a lot of teams that are going to find a way back in the game. So I think it was just about making plays. We talked about it a lot, just having guys make plays, and that Oakland game kind of it all came to a head, and guys were just putting the ball in the back of the net and putting themselves in really good positions to score and doing it. So
did he challenge center backs like, hey, we need you guys to get one too? Because Shane's was the first one from a center back this year other than preseason, I think.
Yeah. He says that he wants us to score a lot more goals than we do. That's for sure. So, I mean, I think we talked about it. Todd's even talked about it. Just like I said, people just got to make plays. So that might just be center backs scoring goals, or in this case, Jared heading across to Shane. Nice little set play there. I think that was drawn up the day before, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit. It wasn't like Lee. It was kind of funny. Like all 3 of us in that situation, Lee like picked for my guy. I headed it across to Shane, so it was kind of fun.
Yeah, but it was a center back trio, really.
Yeah.
Everybody getting involved, which is good.
Yeah.
But I imagine, like, for you guys, right, you're obviously focused on the defense side of the ball, where you guys have been fantastic all year. You're seeing the guys up front maybe struggling a little bit, unable. So what's that like from your guys' perspective, trying to see how can I mean, we mentioned, Mark has challenged the center backs to score goals, but what is it like kind of being a little bit removed for that? We're like, hey, we're not letting in goals, but we also know these guys are maybe a little struggling up front.
Yeah, I think defensively, like, it's a whole team thing, though. I mean,
Sure.
we definitely pride ourselves on it, but I think our whole team prides ourselves on, like, being really strong defensively. And when we're at our best is when we're on our front foot and, like, pressing teams, and that starts with our front 3. And when they're going and running and putting the other team's defenders, like, under pressure, it's so much easier for us to read passes or block up plays. And like when we can defend higher up the field and we don't have to be so deep, then we can turn the ball over and then we create more opportunities. Like Kieran's first goal was, a good pressure on the wing. They turned it over to Kieran. He makes a good run and scores. So, I think just as defenders, like, we want clean sheets and, we don't want other teams to ever score on us.
Right.
But, I think when we can defend higher up and turn them over, then we can create more goals.
Interesting. And then you could play Dicchio last week. You play Saldana last week in Detroit. What was that process like? Like, what's the obviously you're still going for a win. Detroit's a tough place to play. They have a good crowd, good fan base. They had like a 25-minute train going on during the game.
Yeah. No, it's a cool place to play. I mean, Michigan man himself.
Yeah.
Had to play in front of some family, and same with Russell. So, no, it's a tough place to go, and we knew Danny Dicchio would hype him up. So,
yeah.
I mean, from my perspective, watching the first half, I thought the boys played really well, and it's not an easy pitch to play on. It's a pretty bumpy field, but I thought we were really brave in the way we played, and then to get the goal we did, and then see it out the way we did. I mean, I think it was a perfect away performance. I mean, not perfect, but like to get 3 points on the road, especially in Detroit, is always a tough thing to do. So
yeah, no, we knew that it was going to be a battle, just because Deitch was going to get them all fired up and ready to kick us. And then Carlos, he played well.
Yeah,
we know he can make
amazing
saves.
Yeah.
And he showed it multiple times in the game with Jack's header. I think
Chris shot in the first minute of the game.
Yeah.
So, he definitely played really well, and we knew he was going to make it tough for us. And, it was cool to go back to there. I've played there a few times growing up when they were in, like, the NPSL, and their fans are pretty crazy and get on you.
Yeah.
But, I thought it was a pretty professional performance and definitely showed, like, who we are as a team.
And it was just a great game all the way around. Fun to watch, intense. They had chances. We had chances. Right. You got 2 assists in 2 weeks. Are you, like, maybe itching to go after that right wing back spot with Jack? Or, like, what's your...
This is what I love about Jared is he does this thing before home games. You haven't really done it as much recently, but Jared's fast.
Yeah, we were talking about before we started.
Jared's fast, and he always does this sprint the day before the games, and like just to see what his GPS numbers are because the meters per second. One of my favorite memories with Jared is we were playing San Antonio in the regular season, I think it was last year, and I think I was chasing down their forward, and I think Jared ran past me or something, and he looks at me in the middle of the game. Nothing happened. I think we blocked it, and we got the ball, and he looks at me and goes, "Hey, Conor, unhitch that trailer." And it's in the middle of a game, and I'm just like, I didn't know what to do. I think I just laughed a little bit, but I was like, afterwards, I was like, yeah, that was kind of messed up. Like, I'm not slow. I can randomly kick it into gear. Like, I've hit over 9 meters per second this year, but Jared's got some wheels though. So wingback?
Yeah, no, that's
possibility.
No, that's not in the future. I don't think. Mark's like kind of asked the outside center backs to like get forward a little bit more and join the attack. And on that play in Detroit, I kind of just overlapped a little bit. Luis had the ball at the time, and I was basically up onto the touchline and got a cross off, and Russ made a good play in the box.
Did they think he was offside, or they
thought the ball went out of bounds?
Okay, that's what we thought on the broadcast too. That's what it looked like.
It
no, it definitely did. They had a
no.
camera angle; you could totally tell.
Yeah.
No, it was never out of bounds. I think one of their players was yelling, "Oh, it's above the crossbar." I'm like, that doesn't mean it's out of bounds. It can be above the crossbar. It means it's in play, actually. But that was a great ball, and Russ put his body on the line there. I think he ran into the post after the goal, but
he had no idea like in the play, but like I think afterwards, either in the hotel or something, he's like, I think my like elbow was killing me. Drilled it on the post. So
well, I mean, what a return for him. We've been missing him a little bit, missing his intensity, I think, up front. So having him come back in his hometown ish in Michigan. Getting that goal, it's gotta feel good. I'm sure he was pretty pumped after the game, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, he was super excited. He had, I think, 25, 30 people at the game, so it was
wow,
pretty awesome to do that in front of his family and being that first game back.
All right, so Jared, I want to ask year 2 versus year 1 in Sacramento. You've been here a little while. You're basically a Sacramentan now. Like, what's been the difference?
He's an El Corovian.
Yeah.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, man.
I didn't say anything. I just was letting you know.
No, that's where I grew up. So it's La Grassa grew up there.
Yeah. There's good roots.
Common theme there or no?
What's the theme?
I don't know. I was asking you. No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a good spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's been really good. I definitely feel more comfortable just with the whole like organization and staff. So I feel like it's a really good place. I'm enjoying it.
Now you got your new dad. So like, how you've been getting a lot of like the sleep is the first question I'm always asking.
Yeah, Seb and I have been talking a little bit about it. our little guy has he lost a little bit of weight like from his birth weight early on, so he had to like eat every 2 to 3 hours. Mm-hmm. So even if he was sleeping, which is like the most difficult because you're like, oh, finally he's like out for like 2 hours, 3 hours. It's like you got to wake him up to like feed him. And I'm not the one feeding him, but I was typically there for like moral support and stuff. And we can start doing like bottle stuff now. So I think I had the 3 a.m. shift last night. Wake up. I
was asleep.
Give him the bottle, usually change the diaper, and then rock him back to sleep.
Man, all right.
Talk some dad things, boy to boy stuff. Mom's not around.
What did you send me? What was he watching? Was he watching the golf? You sent me a video of him watching golf or something like that. Teaching him young.
Exactly.
There's a standing thing. I said, if you guys have boys or girls and they want to go pro in golf, I'll be their caddy. Eventually. I talked to Nick Ross about it, so Mateo might buy him some golf clubs soon. I think he's 2 years old. I think it might be a little too early, but I'm just setting my future up like 30 years from now, 20 years from now.
Smart.
We got a lot of young babies, young kids on the team right now.
Yeah.
We got Danny. You mentioned you, Seba, Mateo. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm missing a couple.
Jono.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Another one on the
way.
way.
Yeah.
There's
a lot. We need a daycare service, I think.
Don't look at me.
No, I know. I'm just saying it would be like a smart thing, All the guys go in training, and then someone's there.
Yeah.
Helping out with all the kids.
We'll talk to those people.
I think you could make that work in your schedule.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't
Luke.
Yeah.
Luke gave me a really hard time, and I think you have too. Just for whatever reasons, before both the Open Cup games, I've happened to be out at the stadium during training doing whatever stuff. And he gave me such a hard time because he's like, "Oh, you only show up at training when it's Open Cup week, huh?" And I'm like, "No, man, I had stuff to do."
I've seen you a couple of times before games, and I'm like, "This guy's just always got a beer in his hand."
Yeah, that's true.
I was like, "This guy's just living
the life." It's in my contract, actually.
Yeah, 1 beer a game.
Yeah.
Well, the helmet, Brewfest, it's marketing. It was marketing.
Brewfest.
There's another one this year too.
I know. So we're gonna take it a little easier on Brewfest round 2.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, it was a beer helmet, and I was. I might have told this story on the podcast, so I can't remember. But because we had multiple different $2 beers that night, I think, too. No, we didn't. Different one. But I had 2 different kinds of beers.
Didn't remember.
Yeah. I don't remember. But I do remember it was different kinds of beers. I think it was Michelob and I think it was Modelo. But they mix when they...
Oh, jeez.
So I was getting a mix. And so I was expecting it to be horrible. But the last time I'd worn the beer helmet, it was Lagunitas, which is brutal through a straw that's a couple feet. However, I will say Modelo and Michelob mixed, not bad.
Not bad.
I felt like a kid when you get soda and you get all the different kinds.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like.
Nice.
But I won't be doing that next time.
We have I think El Paso at home coming up. It's $2 beers.
Yeah, next the 14th.
Oh, yeah, the 14th. My brother-in-law's coming in town and.
Oh, he's ready.
He sent it to me. He's like, I'm gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, I got a couple of friends that would just be like. They don't ask for tickets all year, and then they see it's $2 beer night, and they're like, yeah, I think I'll go to this one. Yeah. I was like, oh, it's going to be hot. I don't care. I'll be there.
Yeah, exactly. The Open Cup run this year, Seattle, San Jose, kind of the Seattle game was awesome. You were mentioning Jordan, you played, obviously matched up well with Jordan Morris, but like that guy can move.
Yeah, he was confirmed fast.
He's smart, too.
Yeah.
He uses his body really smart.
Yeah. He scored a good goal. They had a good ball in behind. I thought, positionally I was there, but he's got some wheels for sure.
Yeah.
So, they're a good team.
Yeah, it was a great game, though. All the way through. The San Jose game was unbelievable, too. But by seeing, Chibi almost scored against San Jose for his first.
I told him, I was like, the other day, where's your Adidas contract at? And I think someone, I don't know who said it, chimed in, was like, if he would have scored against San Jose, probably would have had it. I was freaking out because I was in the stands for that game, and I thought that was the moment.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good header.
It was
a good header. I know. I asked him about it when he was on last week, and he
still thinks about it.
You have to think about it from his perspective, right? What was it like being in the stands for that game?
I
think I talked to you.
I get more nervous sitting. Obviously, when you're playing, you have control over it all. So I think it was last year. I was in the stands for the 5-4 first round game, and I was shaking, visibly shaking. Excuse me. And the San Jose game, I was a little more calm. I just had a feeling that boys were going to pull it out, but I was sitting like top left corner, and I looked over, and Todd was sitting over there too, and I was like, I'm just going to let him be. I think he was freaking out a little bit too.
He was in the same boat.
But it was fun to watch, and it was cool to see that perspective of a fan.
Yeah, for sure. I think the other thing too that was interesting about that game is, you know what? Actually, now I think about it, I've talked to a couple guys pregame when I know they're out for big games like that. Jack is like miserable. Like I remember, and he's like so. I think it was one of the red card games that he had to sit out.
Yeah, it was pretty recent. It was I think it was the Oakland game. The Oakland game at home, he had to sit out.
I think it was too. And I talked to him ahead of time, and he was just fuming. Oh yeah, because of the water spray that the ref thought he was spraying at him. And yeah. It does seem like something that would happen to him, though, you know? All right, so, Jared, what's the, you've been here in a year and a half. Are you, like, feel like you've seen all the spots? Like, have you got to do a lot of the traveling in the off-season? Were you here in the off-season or no?
Yeah, I stuck around here for the most part. I went home back to Michigan for a little bit. Went up to Portland where my wife's family's at. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I was here for the most part. I feel like I don't explore a lot of downtown. More down in Elk Grove and
suburb. You're a suburb guy. Now you're a dad.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense.
True. Yeah, no, I feel like I usually hear about the spots at training from the guys. I'm like, that sounds nice. I would love to do that sometime, but
don't look at me.
No,
I just give coffee recommendations. I think that's about it.
Speaking of coffee, our guy Vidiello has been.
He was just talking to me about this. He's like, somehow it keeps getting brought up. His routine.
Well, I saw somebody tweeted him this weekend about it, and because every time we've had him on, we talk about it quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, when I think of him, I think of coffee. Because are you a big coffee guy?
I mean, yeah, I like to have a cup in the morning, and then on game days, I don't do another one. I used to.
Not having to get up at 3 a.m. hasn't encouraged you to have a second.
I mean, occasionally I do, but
yeah.
It's more of like a if needed thing, and I'm usually once I'm up, I'm up.
But from Danny's perspective, he's been unbelievable this year. So he's got to be thinking, I'm doing something right. Like why stop? Right? I would think so.
I feel like if I drink that much coffee though, isn't it like
you see like six balls?
Yeah, I'd just
you
be
build
like
up a tolerance,
shaking,
though,
you know.
Yeah,
have some sort of like calmness. And to be fair, I don't.
Goalies are goalies though.
Yeah.
Let the goalies do what they want.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, especially when he's.
He's doing. Yeah,
he's had a couple unbelievable games. I wanted to ask him about that because best defense in the league, 10 clean sheets on the year. Vidiello 9th in saves. So I mean, we've talked about this in the past. Obviously, he's been unbelievable in goal. But you guys, and he always gives you guys credit in front of him. When Mark stole the postgame interview, Danny was shouting you out.
Yeah,
which has now turned into an Instagram ad. I've got it sent to me by a couple.
What happened?
He was interviewing him after Hartford. I think Mark took the mic over and just was hyping up Dan.
You don't remember this?
Well warranted. It was well warranted.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
He like gave me eye contact. Like I want to take the mic. And then he started yelling, and then he stopped himself from swearing the first time. He like started to say an F-bomb, and then the second time he just let it go.
Yeah, went for it.
But anyway, I was gonna ask because yes, Vidiello has been very good, but he always gives you guys credit, and him being 9th in saves is proof that like yes, he's been good. But you guys do such a good job of limiting shot opportunities as well. So what's that combination like, knowing you have confidence in your goalie behind you, but also knowing, hey, we're going to try and make this, whatever shot it is, as tough as possible?
I think we just enjoy blocking shots. Yeah. It's crazy. It's a weird thing to say, but I think all the center backs and in the midfield, the whole team, but like especially the center backs, we take pride in blocking shots, and it's something that practice, if you go out to practice and see, like if Jared makes a block, everyone on the center backs and the defense go crazy. It's kind of like a badge of honor, I guess. So, but having Dan in there makes it like the way we play, we have to be aggressive. So, and we're going to be in 1v1 situations, but knowing Dan's there gives us a little more confidence to make a play.
Yeah. I think like we enjoy defending.
Yeah.
And like blocking shots is part of it, but like, I don't know. Even for me, like I just love like finding the person I'm going up against and just being like, I'm gonna shut him down. Like he's got nothing today, and that's just like my mindset going into the game. And I think our whole backline unit has that same mindset.
Somebody mentioned, and someone's gonna give me a hard time for this, but somebody mentioned earlier in the year that you're a big fan of Fridays at.
Yeah.
Roro.
Oh, it was Roro.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He
Yeah,
still
I used
says
to
it.
love like Tuesdays and Fridays.
Why?
He dresses really nice on Fridays.
Yeah.
He's just ready to
Fresh
roll.
Fridays. I don't know. It's just like, I think it started in high school. I like Fridays. I think.
I mean, there's nothing wrong.
I used to dress up.
It's a popular day. I just was. I thought there was like a reason.
Well, I mean, our Friday sessions are fun. We do like a little like 5v5, 6v6 tournament type thing on Fridays, and yeah, I like take pride and love competing and trying to win those.
Yeah.
And then we pick like a Tronco.
Yeah, you've seen that.
yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had it last week. So
Did you?
Yeah.
I feel like Video saw it last time I was out there. He had it
He
on.
might, yeah.
yeah, he had it. It was the first time he's ever gotten it.
Oh,
Because
really?
goalies usually aren't like able to get it.
Yeah.
Because it's a losing team out of 3 teams, and the goalies play on both like everyone's team. So,
Yeah.
but
Who's gotten it the most?
I don't know.
it's usually pretty spread out. Like,
Yeah,
there's not
I feel like we try to like if
Yeah.
like Justin came in when he showed up.
Yeah, he got it the first.
Yeah,
first
it was
he-
like, oh, welcome to the team, bud.
he
Here
was
you
getting
go.
it immediately.
Like we'll pick you. You
Yeah.
know. But yeah, I feel like we spread it out.
Yeah.
I think Shane just got it. It was his first time this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like people like we'll try to like pick on like Conor or someone we know like who's gonna be able to take it, you know.
Right.
Or
Right.
someone we're
that
just
makes
trying to
sense.
like pick a bug with or something. So
Yeah.
Got it. So the winning team picks somebody from the losing team.
Yep.
Is that how it works?
Mhm.
yeah.
Then you got to wear it next game, the day before
Yeah.
next game.
Right.
It's a nice little tradition. Makes it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's an ugly, very ugly jersey.
It's a good quality though.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kinda nice.
it's kind of nice.
I actually
Does
don't
it-
mind it. It's like pick me.
Yeah.
Well, because it's
These hot Sacramento days.
Yeah.
yeah. It's not been too bad recently, but for
No.
a while there, a couple weeks, I felt bad Portillo when he got here.
Brutal.
It was crazy hot.
No, but
Yeah.
when every new player signs, I don't know if you had this, maybe you did. Like, I think everyone expects sunny California when you first show up and it rains and it's hot and then it's cold and then like everyone was like, "Where's this heat you guys are talking about?" Like
Yeah.
all the new guys this year, and I was like, "Oh, it's coming."
Yeah.
Like, and then June rolls around, July rolls around, and you're like, "Okay, I believe you
Well,
now."
the Wednesday, July 3rd game, you're like, the one, I think it was like 109, 110 or whatever that game. It's like, that's the game we're going to play Vegas, the team that's
Yeah.
Used
Used
to
to
it,
it.
used to it. Yeah.
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 It was
I mean-
hotter in Vegas.
Yeah.
Right.
They were like, "Oh, nice, cool
This
weather."
is- yeah. And then for Seattle, like, you know, we were thinking, oh, it's going to be nice and hot for them, and they're going
Dropped
to
off perfectly.
and then it dropped off,
Yeah.
which is good for the crowd, but in terms of for you guys on the field, what was what the crowds this year, specifically some of those the Oakland games, both of them, away and home, been big crowds. The Open Cup games. What do you guys are feeling from the crowds so far this year?
Yeah, it's been good. We've struggled like record wise at home.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, and you know, I think we're obviously disappointed. We want to like perform well in front of our fans, and they always show up and spur us on. So I think that's been an emphasis for us recently about you know improving our home record.
But on the road, you guys have been unbelievable. So
Yeah.
it is odd.
Which
right?
hasn't been the case in the years past.
Right.
Like I know in 2022 we struggled a little bit on the road, and last year we were like pretty good. Yeah, this year we've been pretty good on the road. It's not like you can't just point and say, oh, this is what's wrong. I don't think.
Sure, no,
but
no.
yeah, I think through the season you go through little ruts here and there, and I think we were in one for a little bit, and they happened to have a lot of home games in that little run. So hopefully with these last 2 games and the last 2 performances on the road, we can bring that into Pittsburgh this weekend.
Well, the Oakland win, basically a 6-point win, puts you guys a little bit ahead of them in second place. Now you're chasing New Mexico, and you have to play them twice down the stretch. Is that a big focus for you guys, trying to get that number 1 seed going into playoffs?
I mean, I think recently we've just been taking it a game at a time. Just focusing on like each performance, like each week. Trying to not really look at the table as much.
Yeah.
Definitely, like it's something that at the beginning of the year, like we want to be first place. We want to win the West.
Sure.
And that's definitely a goal of ours. But I think it's more when we've been in that like kind of like rut where we're just like not getting some results. We've just been like, all right, let's
Simplify.
completely just focus on this week's game.
Yeah, and the being in the Eastern Conference where you have such a bad teams at the bottom, makes it tough to go after Supporter Shield because like if you look at, I think Miami has 9 points. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they're in
think-
last. I don't remember how many points.
I think it's 9. So and then if you look at the goal differentials on the West, you guys probably don't know this because you don't look at the standings, but I've been looking at the standings, and it's like the goal differential is crazy in the Western Conference. We're at 11. We're by far atop. Oakland's in the negative, and they're in third place. It's
crazy.
very strange statistically. Obviously not something you guys pay attention to based on what you say, but it is interesting. On the Eastern Conference, though, you have teams like Louisville, who you guys are playing in 2 weeks, that has been playing. You know, they have a big goal differential. They have a lot of points because they played some of these weaker teams in the East, so it's a little easier for them to get the player. Is it called Player Shield now? Is that what it's called?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Players. Yeah, actually, yeah.
I think it is. I think I've called it Supporter Shield.
Yeah, I think that's MLS. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and no, not just MLS.
I think they call it Supporter Shield MLS, don't they?
I think so. No,
and
I'm
maybe
saying like, yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're right. Anyway, but same thing. I had one. We're doing this new thing on the podcast. I should have told you ahead of time.
Bring a question.
Yeah, bring a question. See, good listener.
I haven't been listening, but I just guessed. No, I'm kidding. I do have a question for Jared before we go to that.
Oh,
do you want to talk about the Timmer flop?
You did it last game. I think you're taking over.
If there's one thing Jared rubbed off on me, it's the Timmer flop. It's
not a flop.
No, it's
so
really,
like
it's a really smart
you're smart.
play.
You're running. You've made a good defensive play. Like their attacker's
exactly
running
what
at you.
Awesome.
You just kind of slow down a little bit. He puts a little pressure on you, and you go
fall
on
on
the
the ball.
ground.
Yeah.
And you go down.
I did one in Detroit, and I got up, and I was like, Jared,
I was like, no.
did you see that?
It's funny.
It was
dude.
the softest
I
one,
know,
too.
I know exactly what you're talking about. As soon as you
Yeah.
started, I was like, yeah, I've seen that. No, it's good. It's a good play. Smart
No, it's
play.
smart. It's
Roro does that a lot in certain situations. He would,
Yeah, it can be a little sketchy when center backs do it, though, because usually we do it near the sidelines, which is helpful, but you got to fall on the ball to make sure.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
no, it's funny because just he's done it so well. I mean, I see him do it all the time, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should start doing that. And I got in a little trouble against Detroit down the line. I was like, I'm just going. He gave me a little budge, and I was like,
Nick Ross does it really well too. He's been
Nick Ross is just a smart.
Nick
player.
Ross has been unbelievable this year.
I mean, I think he didn't get his flowers nearly enough the last 2 seasons. He's
I agree.
an unbelievable player, and I think he's obviously just having a bigger role this year a little bit. I mean, he had a big role last year, but yeah, he's such a good player.
I mean, he's super integral now. Him and Luis in the midfield, and then Portillo. I mean, they don't have too many games where they can, that's kind of the weak spot in the depth chart. There's not a ton of depth. You got Blake off the bench in the midfield, but just not a ton of changes that you can make. So those guys are playing lot of minutes. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, question. Wait, did we talk? You play ping pong, right?
Yeah. We haven't played like really at all this year, but last year I think technically I won. I think
I'm not a
Dami and Luis
Yeah.
probably played like 200 games, and I played maybe like 20 games. But the 20 games that I played between them, I beat Luis and beat Dami in my overall record. But they played a lot.
So. Yeah.
The problem that I have when I talk to them about it is they would talk about it a lot, and then I started asking about, because before you got here, like the year before, they would talk about it all the time. Like we should go do this with ping pong, and then all of a sudden you came and you beat them. I asked, I was like, hey, I heard Jared beat you guys at ping pong. Haven't heard about it at all.
Yeah,
like they've been.
I think they actually don't really. We haven't really played much at all this year. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know what it is. We've kind of moved around a little bit.
Darts. A lot of guys have been playing darts this year.
Yeah.
Not like, I don't know if they actually play, but they throw it on the dartboard.
That might be a little bit of Kieran and Jared
English.
Mazzola rubbing off.
Yeah. We did something kind of ridiculous on a bus trip to Monterey.
Yeah.
We brought the dartboard and like hung it somehow. And we only did it for like 5 minutes because it was a little weird, but like guys were trying to hit the dartboard while the bus was driving. And I was
Who
like,
was behind the dartboard? Like,
no one.
Oh,
Okay. It was hanging, but like there was no one there.
There wasn't like, it had like a
like I was
surface
holding
behind
it.
Yeah. No, I was like, is the bus
Jared had it
driver
on
just
his
getting
chest.
pelted? Like, what's going
No,
on?
it was in the back of the bus. It was in the
Oh,
back of the bus. It
okay.
wasn't. Come on. We're not going to do it in the front of the bus.
I'm just making sure.
Towards the driver. It was like for
You said darts
4
on
minutes.
a bus.
I mean, we're smart.
It was like 4 minutes, and then we were like, maybe we should stop. Let's just stop. But
Yeah.
if you got bus rides and long trips, you gotta make something happen.
Yeah. No, I get it. Makes sense. All right. Well, thanks you guys for coming here. I appreciate it.
Do you want to do a question then?
Yeah. No, I was
I got a
getting there.
question for you. Okay.
For me?
Yeah,
Go
for both
it.
you guys.
Okay.
I was deciding between two. No, I was deciding between two.
Oh, okay.
Now the Olympics are on.
Oh.
If you could pick a sport to be an Olympian in, what would you pick?
I got mine off the top of my head. You know yours?
Well, this was kind of brought up at training
Yeah, we
today,
were talking about it this morning.
Have you seen slalom kayaking?
Yeah.
briefly.
Down the.
Do they like fall off the thing? That one?
No, they go.
the things are hanging down.
and there's gates
Yeah.
that they have to get through.
Okay.
I was watching the day. I was like riveting.
Also found out they're sitting on their knees their whole time. They're not like legs out.
Interesting. I guess that
I
makes
saw
more
a video.
sense. You have more leverage. I would
Yeah,
assume
I saw
that
a
way.
video. I don't.
More control.
Well, they have certain gates that are different colors. Like green is you just have to get through, and they just basically have to get their head through. So they're like ducking through. And then they have red gates, and the red gates you have to go through. I almost said swim. You have to kayak through it, and then you have to spin around one, and then keep.
You got
going.
the facilities for this? You think you're a good kayaker?
No, but I'm just saying. It's,
Okay. Yeah.
It's an interesting sport. Everybody's gonna say the 5 sports that are most popular. I was going off the board. You know,
Respect that.
that's mine.
Wait, so are you saying like
I don't
this
know.
sport I'm picking and like I'm the best in
You're
the
one of
world
the
at?
best. Yes.
Okay, then I'm probably saying the 100-meter dash
Yeah.
just because
Oh,
that is. Imagine being like I'm the fastest man on the planet.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's
I
pretty
said
sweet.
I said golf originally because that means you're on the PGA Tour most likely, but I was like that's kind of a
you
safe
guys
answer.
way thought about this way more than I did.
That's
I
kind of
was
a
just
safer
like,
answer.
Here's a cool sport that I was watching. I was like, I think it'd be fun to do.
Yeah, golf was a safe answer. I think I would. Yeah.
I mean, there is soccer
I-
in the Olympics.
Yeah, but we play that already.
I know. That's what I. Yeah.
But
could be
I think another like I think the 100 meters to say you're the fastest man in the world would be, which
Yeah.
I'm not by far. But I think that'd be pretty cool.
But why can't the person who runs the 400 meters say they're the fastest person?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know.
You should start a TED talk on that.
I'm just saying. It just seems like the one event. We don't do that for the fastest swimmer alive for the 100-meter freestyle.
That's true.
It's because it's the 50.
We don't do it for the 50. Whatever. Right? Do we do? Wait.
The 50 is I think they do a 50.
Is that that's down?
Yeah. I think there's just a down.
That's all.
There's
That's
just a
you're
down?
basically just a good diver at that point. No, you think 50?
I think there's a 50.
I don't know.
I'll
I
look
don't
it up later.
We'll figure it out. We'll yeah.
Are you a good swimmer?
I'm okay.
Are you a good swimmer?
I can stay
Swim.
alive.
I can swim.
Yeah. Right. What's the
bar?
I don't
What's
know.
the bar in that situation?
Are you?
Okay. Yeah.
Not breaking any
I
world
enjoy-
records.
yeah.
I can say this. I'm definitely not going anywhere.
I'm making one
anywhere
end-
near
I'm making
like
it one end.
dangerous water with you guys because
Oh.
if I'm drowning, you guys are
I'd save you.
struggling. Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.
You do give me lifeguard vibes.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah.
What?
But take that. That's
I'll take it.
I feel like that's a
I
positive.
get my game day outfits when I show up. I get. They say I look like a professor sometimes. So does you.
Yeah, I get like high school teacher,
Yeah.
which
I'll
I'm
take
kind of
Kind of
rubbing
look
right
like
now.
you look like I'm right
It's
now. It's not a bad thing.
You guys have not benefited from LaGrassa retiring because he was.
I think we dress great. I don't know. There's a lot of
We say
crazy
that,
stuff
yeah.
out there now, and I think we're simple.
I mean, if I
Gets the
showed
job
up in
done.
like half the things that the guys on the team did, I mean, I would probably get roasted. They'd be
Yeah.
like, Jared, what are you wearing? But then like they can wear. I mean, like I don't know.
Yeah, well, you had Sosa and Dougie. They both had,
I would love to see their closets. Like they got so much clothes. I
and
don't know.
but on the opposite side of that was LaGrassa. But yeah,
Skateboard chic,
yeah,
Matt LaGrassa style. I think.
yeah. Well, there you go.
I'm just not a very stylish guy. Like I don't stay up to
look
date on
great,
the
man.
trends. You know,
You look
I
great.
just throw a polo on and call it good.
What? Do you, yeah. Thank you for wearing a collar to this. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
of course. Yeah, professional here, Connor.
You going golfing later?
No, this is.
There's
this
a
is-
Callaway pole.
I'm
I can-
actually at work right now.
You wish you were going golfing later.
No, it's Tuesday. No golf on Tuesdays.
Is that true? Oh, all right.
I know.
All right, let's wrap up. I'm sure people are starting to tune out. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Thank you guys. Jared, congrats again. Back-to-back team of the weeks. New dad. And like, whew, what's next, man? I don't know.
I don't know. Dad power
Goal.
got going
Are you
on.
scoring this weekend?
He hasn't
I
scored.
hope
a goal
so.
yet.
Yeah, I would like to score a goal.
Oh. If you score, are you coming back on next week?
Sure. Yeah, I'm in.
It's actually a thing. I think. We did it once and I scored.
No,
the
it's
next game.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's happened. It's been a thing. I've also killed a couple streaks, so
Good.
we'll see. We'll see how it
Be
goes.
careful.
You're either going to score or you're not going to have an assist.
Okay.
It's one of those two
All
things.
right.
So,
That's all right.
all right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.